Hi there and welcome to our last episode in our B5, the living body topic, where today we're going to be looking at transplants and problems with donors and what can happen with those. And I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you at the end. Bye-bye. Okay, so our objectives for today's lesson on transplants will be by the end of this lesson you should know and understand what conditions are needed for people to be able to have a transplant and any issues that surround the need for transplants and how they might be able to be overcome. Organ donors are people that donate organs, which is fairly self-explanatory. Now, the need for having an organ donated to you is because that your body part isn't working properly, and there are many organs that actually need to be transplanted at various stages. These include blood, the cornea, which is on the eye, heart, lungs, kidneys and bone marrow. Now, organs usually come from an organ donor once the person has been declared brain dead. And that essentially means where they can't regain consciousness and they cannot breathe without being aided by a machine. However, there is a shortage of donors in this country because you need to be registered as an organ donor. Now, this means that either you or your family need to consent. Now, this might be by consenting by carrying a donor card, or it could be on your driving licence if you're old enough to own one. Now, some organs can be donated from a living donor. For example, it is possible to donate a kidney from a living person. As you have two, you can function with just the one. There's also other tissue that can be donated, such as blood and bone marrow, that can be done while you are still alive. Now, in the UK, there is no payment for any donations. It's all done voluntary. There has been discussions about paying people for organs, but it could lead to people from poor or desperate situations to become donors just to earn money, which is probably not the best situation to be in. Now, there's also concern about when people are declared dead and when their organs can be taken, and sometimes that decision can be delayed, and that can reduce the transplant success rates. Now, in the UK, we have an opt-in system, which means you have to opt in to donate organs. Now, there are several issues with this, that there could be a shortage of donors, which means there is a long time to wait for a transplant. Now, some people think that if you had an opt-out system, then people that haven't registered their organs can be taken without their consent, and you would have to actively opt out, meaning that the likelihood is there would be more people that would be able to receive donors. Now, although you may be on the National Register for Donors, there is no guarantee that your organs will be donated, because your relatives may suggest no, they can't be taken due to religion or cultural reasons. Now, when people have a transplant, they are given something which is what we call a foreign body. Now, this means that it's not used to the body it's in, and the body can start to attack it. Now, because of this, drugs need to be given to the recipient. Now, these drugs are known as immunosuppressant drugs, and they may have to have these for the rest of their life. Now, what these do is they lower the immune system, which means the body won't attack the organ or the part of the body that's been donated. Now, one of the problems with having immunosuppressants, which you will need to have for the rest of your life, is that you have trouble fighting off infection. And this can lead to you actually dying, not because of the organ, but because of contracting another disease. Now, other issues with transplants can be the survival rate. Now, we've also already mentioned that the immunosuppressants could cause infection, but we're going to look at some data here that shows the survival rate of kidney transplants post-transplant. Now, we can see here that we've got a steady decline in the number of deaths from a dead donor. So the dead donor is in the red, but with a live donor the success rate is a lot higher. Okay, now it appears that once we get past this initial stage, then the survival rate may be okay, and if you get past 5 years, then it might be a really good sign. There are many types of mechanical implants that can be used to replace parts of the body. For example, hearts, eye lenses, knee and hip joints. Now, with these implants, they need to be small and compact enough to go inside the body. Now, you also need to consider the materials that they're made from. So normally they'll be made from materials such as metal alloys and plastics. Now, they do this so that we don't get any wear or tear on them, because they tend to be quite well made, and they don't react with the body and cause allergic reactions or any infections. Now, other implants such as pacemakers or anything that needed batteries need to have a reliable power supply, and that might be that you either need to have a very good power supply, or you get a battery that can be charged from outside the body. Now, other than those, you can get very large complex machines that can give for organ replacement. Now, this could be to replace the heart and lungs, which is called a iron lung. You can also get a dialysis machine that takes blood out of the body and cleans it to replace the kidney. Now, these are both done outside of the body because obviously they're too big and complex to fit inside the body. Okay, so a quick review of what we've done today. We've looked at organ donors and what sorts of organs can be donated. We've looked at rejection. We've looked at opt-ins and opt-out systems, and we've looked at what happens during a transplant. And then finally we looked at some mechanical implants that you could have. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this topic, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.